Welcome to Reality Hour. I am Adam Samuel. Today we are talking about the last episode of American Idol before the show was supposed to be going live. Now that's kind of up in the air. Joining me for this podcast is my co-host Eric. How you doing today, Eric?
I am hanging in there, same as everyone. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I went into this episode as one American Idol fan. I left it a different one. No, actually more like 10 minutes into the episode, I left it a different one.
Well, so to go a little bit behind the scenes dirt, I've edited out like several conversations now between Adam and me because I spoiled this result for Adam a couple weeks ago.
This one result. This was the only one I knew going in.
Because I knew it was actually a charitable thing for me to do to spoil this one for you, because I was lowering your expectations. Because I knew that if you thought that she had a chance and you saw her get eliminated, it would break your heart. It still did, but judging by your Twitter feed.
Not only did it break my heart, but Eric actually messaged me during the episode asking me to record my reaction so he could laugh at my misfortune.
Yep, I'm evil.
That was it hurt. And as I tweeted, the big news here.
I wouldn't have done that had I not spoiled it 3 weeks ago.
He's taking sick pleasure in my disappointment in the show. I mean, look.
So let me start by saying I was on. I mentioned it in our live stream yesterday. I watched a live concert with David Cook, and I asked him a question about what he thought of this year's Idol. And he said he hasn't started watching yet because he doesn't like getting invested in contestants too early because he knows that the contestants don't always make it. I'm like, yes, that is the smart way to watch the show.
Look, I had a horse in the race. I now don't have a horse in the race. So I can watch the episode with a bit.
Still in the race.
Well, I can watch the show with a little bit of distance. Not only did we lose my number one, we lost my number two also.
Your number two
was Travis, who we only saw 2 seconds of. Yeah. Genevieve, oh my God, what a heartbreaker. I would have been okay if I felt she deserved it, but I gotta say, some of these results in this episode, and like last week's episode, we were talking about how some of these contestants are so and I feel like we lost some really good names here that it's just such a shame. And I gotta tell you, this episode, we've seen a lot of this recently, where the show is just, it's so overbaked, is what I'm saying. Like, everything is just so extra. Everything, the music, the Bobby Bones, it's just so much. It's like they to take another cake metaphor, it's like they baked a cake and everything is fine. The batter is fine. The oven is set right. And then right before they stick it in the oven, they put an entire lemon right inside the middle, like with the rind. Like that's what it's like. The show has so much potential and they just shoved that lemon in there for no reason. We talked about this when we went live yesterday. I watched some of the old Britain's Got Talent auditions. And it's like a different show. Like there's silence on American Idol. There's never quiet. There's never just straight silence. There's always music. There's always a judge talking. On these old shows, it's just so. It feels real. This feels like a YouTube show where the overproduction is just so over the top that there's just no way to get invested. It feels fake. It doesn't feel, you know what I mean, Eric?
I know what you mean, but it's been a problem for a lot longer than just now. So
I know.
I'm used to it by now.
It's probably just the fact that, like I said, I've watched some of these older.
The thing I'm not used to is the judges talking over people, and that's getting worse.
That's always been the case.
No, it wasn't. It was not. In the peak Idol days, the judges would never talk over contestants.
Well, peak Idol days was kind of what I was referring to.
I know. Anyway.
But anyway. So here's how we are going to do this. First off, do we have any big headlines kind of going into the episode?
Not really. Next week's a clip show where we have our top 21. We'll find out which one doesn't make it of the two at the end.
Yeah, that actually is kind of the headline here, I think, to talk about. So jumping ahead, we're going to spoil the episode right here. The last two results comes down to Grace and Lauren Machete and Grace Lear, which is BS right there because the judges say you're some of the best singers in the competition. Well, if they're the best singers in the competition, why aren't they already advancing? Why are you putting some of these other people through? It's the problem is that the show is so obviously not in the judges' hands, and they're just sticking it through the producer's decisions. But the problem is that the wires are so on display. Like usually on American Idol, there are wires. You can see like it's hidden behind like a colorful exterior, and you know it's there, but it's like it smooths over. Here, it's like the wires are just open. You could see the judges, the producers, like being puppeteering the judges, and it just feels ingenuine. It feels forced. It feels fake, and that's what I really. American Idol didn't used to be this way. This was.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It always felt fake. It just felt less fake.
Maybe I'm just being bitter because I lost my favorite.
Ding ding. That's it. That's it right there.
All right. What do you make of this final result between Grace and Lauren?
Country singing is not my thing. So of the two, I would put through Grace of the two. But having said that, honestly, the both of them are better than most of the guys that made it through. So I will put both of them through.
Yeah, Katie Turner. If you are not following Katie Turner on Twitter, her tweets about this season, very good. She made a very good point on the topic you were kind of discussing. So yeah, Grace and Lauren.
Oh, her tweet about mediocre white guys always made it through.
Yes.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Very, very good. I mean, like Louis
it's
Knight.
Not new, but
like some of these guys. Ugh.
Anyway.
All right. Just to break.
Grab, shall we?
One last thing to say on these two. First of all, they said this was a twist that's never been done in the season. Lies. That was done season 13 with Nico Starr and Ben Briley.
Oh, it was actually.
Right? See? No one else is pointing this out.
Remember, they're starting from season. They started over from season 3, so this is the first time I've done it in the 3 seasons on ABC.
Bullshit. No, I don't buy that.
Oh, Eric does not endorse what it just came out of his mouth, but he still said that. That's what the producers would say.
All right. One last thing. Between Lauren and Grace, I would go Grace. I think Grace is better.
So would I.
All right, let's do a deep dive.
Let's watch America put through Lauren, shall we?
No, even if they put through Lauren, that's fine. Like they're both good. Like they should have been there already.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So last week we left off with Dylan James. We get his results. Let's move it on.
Moving on.
All right. Maybe we should do this through the competition. Would you say, did they earn their spot, is the question I'm going to ask. So for each contestant after we go over, I will ask, did they earn the spot in the top 20? Does that sound fair?
20, do I have to say 20 people earned their spots? Or can I say like 15 or 10 earned their spots?
Well, there's only like 12 people here to talk about.
Okay, well, never mind. Okay,
He's on the bubble for me. I don't think he's a contender. I think he is at best looking at top 10. I think it's kind of the.
If he sneaks into a top 10, it would be a shock anyway.
Yeah. For me, well, I'm gonna say none of them made it through because they all made it over Genevieve. But
speaking of Genevieve, let's talk about.
Speaking of Genevieve performing You Say by Lauren Daigle, which is a great song choice for her. I was a little bit
Yeah.
surprised why we didn't get her behind the piano because I liked when she played piano and she was really good, and this would have been a really great song. And look, is it perfect? No. But most of these contestants who sang weren't perfect. And it's not fair to nitpick on her if we're not going to do it on Louis Knight and Franklin Boone previously in the competition. Like, the judges just decide, they sit down and they decide, okay, I'm going to be critical today or not. Like, but it's not on a by day, it's by contestant. They just pick on people for no reason because it's not them actually picking on them, it's the producers. Eric, what did you think of Genevieve?
Better than most of the guys from last episode, but honestly, this was kind of weak. This was her weakest performance of the competition by a mile, and so I was hoping that hoping that she at least delivered a great performance, so I could be justifiably mad that she got cut. But this left me hanging. I didn't enjoy it. It was passable, but it was definitely not like, oh my god, this girl is amazing. This girl can win.
I thought it was perfection.
Of course he did. Anyway,
I've talked about Genevieve for
she's
a while.
had a couple of awesome performances. This was not one of them.
Eric, do you think we see her again next year?
I hope not, for her sake.
What? Why?
So there's this contestant that my mind always goes back to from X Factor UK. I think her name was Melanie McCabe. And she auditioned 4 times for a show. And every time they set her up, they showed her, they featured her heavily, and they always cut her in the same place, right before the live shows. And they're just torturing this fucking girl. And I was like, felt so bad for her because she deserved to make it like most of the times that she got that far. So
Serena Joy Crow.
well, she also should have made it further.
No, but she did make it further. Like,
but she should have made it further when she made it. She made it to the first live show and then she got cut.
All right, Adam Sanders, also known as Ada Vox.
Also made it to the first live show and then got cut.
He did not make it to the first live show. He made it to like top 8.
Ada, okay, top 8, yeah. Week 2. The second the judges couldn't save Ada was gone.
That was the week he did The Circle of Life, which was
good.
A Hot Mess Express. I thought it was.
I forget what I thought of that one. I remember liking Creep a lot. Anyway.
Well, since I've talked about Genevieve, I just want to kind of one last thing. It is a shame she did not make it through. I feel like was this her greatest performance? No. But I feel like there was a mine of great performances that we could have seen that we're not going to get, and the season will not be the same without her, and it will not be as good without her. And I am sad that we've lost her, but we are going to have to move on. I feel like we should play the bagpipes really quickly. You can edit that in. Like, have like an eagle flying. There's going to be a bird flying. There's, Anyway. You're totally making a note to add that, aren't you?
We'll see what I add.
Well,
I'm adding something. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Let's talk about Franklin Boone performing Daughters by John Mayer. This is going to be a problem moving forward because I'm just going to say, like, you did not deserve this spot over this person. But his performance, it's solid. It's a little bit, doesn't really go anywhere. It's kind of like a sweet song that doesn't really work as a performance song. It's too small of a song, if that makes sense.
The secret passphrase is boring.
No, I don't think it's a boring song. I think it's just a smaller song.
I thought it was boring. I'm sorry.
Well, the performance was maybe boring, but the song itself, I don't think it's a boring song. It's a situational song. You gotta
John Mayer song. It's kind of boring. Anyway.
So Franklin makes it into the top 10. I thought the performance, like I said,
top 20. Don't get ahead of yourself.
What did I say? Top 10. Top 20. And Eric, did he earn a spot?
No. Next.
We have Julia Gargano performing Glitter in the Air by Pink. So at this point in the competition, looking forward, I think the two names that I have my eye on are Julia and Sophia Wackerman. And this performance solidified who I'm actually going to kind of. I don't have Genevieve anymore, but I'm going to probably pick between one of these two. After this, I'm pretty solidly with Julia Gargano. Glitter in the Air by Pink. I think this was maybe my favorite performance of this round.
Not mine, but my God, I mean, it was up there for me. It was not my favorite, but I think she's really good. Perfect song choice for her. MJ wrote it a little bit too much like Pink, which it kind of was, but I don't care.
Pish Posh.
Pish posh, shuffle, flubble, flip, flop. That's done all everyone said. I think the parts that I heard of it were great, so I enjoyed it. She's a valid person to root for.
She's all I've got left. It's like I'm not gonna go there, but I really like Julia. The thing is that I can trust that she is going to do something good. Like
I hope so.
I've primed myself that she had like Genevieve. I loved her, but there were occasional problems. Julia has been like consistently like solid. I haven't been invested in her like as much, but I can see myself maybe, you know. But the thing is that it's song choices with her, and she's been doing good with the song choices. I have faith in her that she is going to handle this well if the season even continues for I don't know when it's going to, but I have faith that she can keep this going. I hope she doesn't end up like Ashley Hess because I really don't want that to happen. Do you think she earned her spot top 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did for me too. Yeah, I really like Julia. I have hope for her. She's the last one I got.
Okay.
We move on. Aliana Jester. This is me from The Greatest Showman. And when I saw this performance, I tweeted a picture of like flashbacks. that's how I feel whenever I get I hear this song. And Aliana, she's a sweet girl, but my God, she is fodder.
Yep.
Not only that, but I don't think she was that great. Like she was just kind of I think she's being set up to kind of be one of those early boots. And this is the problem with American Idol that I have. I know you don't watch Survivor, but on this season of Survivor, it's all winners. Only winners. Every episode of that show is like giving me a panic attack because they're all so good and they're all such great competitors. And I'm just so bummed that we can't have that on American Idol, where we have the talent to such a level when anyone going home is a miss. You know what I mean? I want the talent to truly be the best. And the fact that we have names like Aliana, nothing against her, she's a sweet girl, but it takes the talent down. And I feel like that's so wrong of the show to do. I understand that it's because they're thinking we got to protect the people who got to move through. We need some people to go home. I love Genevieve and those contestants like her, but I would rather like let them earn the spot. Let it be like a gladiator match. Like everyone is really good. It just is a shame that we have contestants who are just so I don't even know.
Well, Louis Knight's gonna win this season probably, so that's just gonna happen.
Did Aliana earn her spot?
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Next up, we have a contestant who I have the most to talk about of these batch because
I had a feeling.
Sophia Wackerman performing Levels by Nick Jonas. So Sophia, because we're using cake metaphors, actually I would maybe even use like the same metaphor. It's everything is there. Like she's got all the correct measurements. She's got everything like it's right there. And then she throws a lemon in with it. There was the song choice, great. Like her vocals are great. But she just looks like not looks. The whole performance, it's just I couldn't find the word. and it's just so dated. It's somehow she took like a Nick Jonas song and made it just seem like almost like cartoonish, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Sort of, but honestly, I just like singing or not sing a ballad. I liked it.
I enjoy that. I just think the performance itself was just so. This was not a reflection of the contestant that I remember seeing. Like I thought she was like she somehow dated a Nick Jonas song. Like it felt it's like a Vegas performance. You know what I mean? Like or a wedding singer. It just didn't that was not the contestant I wanted to see. And as a result, I maybe would have cut her here
Really?
over Genevieve. Yeah, I would have cut her.
Strong disagree on that. Actually, I would have put Genevieve. I would have put her through over Genevieve, but
Not after this performance for me. This
I
performance, it
would
was.
have.
You wouldn't or would?
I would have. I would have put her through after the performance.
Hashtag idol disagree. Remember that?
Okay.
So I guess that answers
Very
the
much
question.
remember that.
Did Sophia earn her spot?
I think yes. Barely.
I would
but
put
yes.
her through. When I would say I would cut her, I meant I would cut her for Genevieve, but I would have. Yeah, I would maybe put her through, but I think this is a mark against her.
Okay.
All right, we move on. Robert Taylor performing "Take Me to the Pilot" by Elton John. I have heard this song only a couple of times, but what sticks out for me whenever I hear this song, I always think, what do I think of, Eric? Season 11, Joshua Lidette and Fantasia, which was.
Oh. now I get why, because that was a screaming mess too, and so is this.
Yeah, I feel like this song is just it's for people who scream. Like you know what I mean?
Right. Now I get it. Okay, let's move on.
So yeah, it's it's a little.
And I love Joshua. I loved Joshua when he was on Idol. Or I didn't love him, but I liked him quite a bit.
They just walked into the audience like during the performance. I don't think they were supposed to go, and there was like the camera. They cut it out mid performance, I think, because there was. Anyway, Robert Taylor. Yeah, this was a mess.
Next.
Rein it in, like a little bit of subtlety. We move on. Kimmy Gabriella, "You Don't Do It For Me Anymore" by Demi Lovato. A lot of Demi Lovato this episode.
Yes.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, current artists.
Yeah, good music. Current artists. Anyway, my thing about this is that the YouTube clip and the performance of this one, this is how all of them should have been edited. She wasn't talking over her performance for her. And all the YouTube comments were like, "This is how you edit a performance, American Idol." And I'm like, yes, this is how you edit a performance. Having said that, this was good. I mean, it was great. I wasn't like blown away by it, but it was great.
Wait, what? So then, was it good or was it great?
Somewhere in between.
All right. Here's how I feel about Kimmy Gabriella. Solid singer, middle of the packer, honestly. I think she's good. I don't think anyone's going to get excited about her, if you know what, like.
Okay.
I think she's just gonna be there. Maybe she'll get through a few rounds. I think she's gonna be cut, honestly, one of the earlier rounds, like of the live shows, if not the first one. And it's nothing against her. It's just she's not as interesting as some of the other contestants. She's kind of, which is a shame because she's a solid singer. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her. It's just I don't see people getting invested in it. I don't think people will go out to vote for her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, did she earn her spot?
Yeah. She's on the edge for me, but I think she did.
Yeah, she's on the edge for me. I mean, I don't know. Right there. I could go either way. I mean, who knows? All right, we move on. We get some eliminations, and two of these names are two of my favorite contestants of the season. They don't even get to sing. Travis Finley, and Amelia Joyce, who has reached out to me on Twitter, and she messaged me that she released a new song, and I listened to it. What a bummer! Like, this girl, she didn't get shown at all, and she's really, really good. She reminds
That's why they didn't show her.
She's so similar to Ashley Hess. Like, if she had made it through, I would have at least had one like person. But they didn't show anything of her. All we saw was that like 15-second audition, and I remember loving it. Loving it. And Travis in season 14, the same episode as Jax, like those 3 contestants that we lost in this episode are just such a bummer, which leads into the next contestant, who's even also a huge bummer, Shannon Gibbons, Send My Love to Your New Lover by Adele. I thought this was really strong. There was, like, towards the end of the performance, there were some weaker notes, but what I saw, I thought was pretty damn good. I would have put her through after this.
Here's what I'll say. I thought she was better for Genevieve, but not enough to advance.
You would not have advanced her.
It would have been close. She would have been out of a bubble for me.
I would have cut Aliana and some of these other people, and like.
Yeah, maybe I would have put her through. I'm not positive.
I think she's really good. She's like a Janis Joplin. Like, she's really got that.
Yeah, I mean, my problem with the song choice, I love the song, and she didn't really live up to it for me. But
all right, it's just such a shame because I feel like there's still more. Like, her story could have gone on. There was still more to get from her. So we move on to the super long montages, which usually, like, if this was a regular episode, these would have been like 2 seconds. You get a smiling Luke Bryan and a 2-second clip of them like running away laughing. But no, we got like a full like 7 minutes of these 3 contestants. Sanaya Elise, Lady Marmalade by Patti LaBelle. It was solid. Not my favorite. I feel like it was a little bit too much for the first time. I don't remember ever feeling this, but for Sanaya, this was the first time I was like, pump the brakes a little bit. You're going a little bit too far, but it was really good though. Otherwise, what about you?
My issue with her remains the same, which is that she's a beast vocally, and I like that she did something more up tempo. But I wanted to do something current and prove that she could sell records. So she does that.
I can agree with that. I think that is a good point. I
wanted to do something current and prove that she could be a contemporary artist, and then I can get on board.
She's 18, and I feel like the show is dating her. Like,
yes,
they are putting her into like the Mariah and Whitney bracket, which is
not where she wants to be if she wants to win.
Exactly. Like, that is not only that, but I feel like at this point she's screwed either way. Like, they have pushed her into that bracket, and I think if she was to even fight against it, they would bust the hell out of her.
I'm not positive. I think she should try. She needs to try. Because as is, she'll make top 5, but she won't win.
All right. And the next contestant in the montage is Michaela Phillips. Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato.
Another vocal piece. Another strong vocalist, and I like that she's picking modern contemporary songs. But again, her issue is that she needs to prove that she can connect to a song before I could put all my weight behind her.
Yeah, she is a vocal beast, as Eric kind of said. It just feels disingenuous. Like, I can't. It's like a blank wall. It's like
we've had other contestants like that in the past, and it hasn't been an issue for them, but we'll see.
Like who?
To an extent, Madison last season.
I've had a problem with Madison. We talked about Madison.
I'm not talking about you having a problem. I'm talking about America having a problem. I'm talking about how the votes go. Madison made top 3. She succeeded.
I gotta disagree. Here's what I think. I think she's more Mara Justine than Madison Vandenberg.
Like, as far as how she's going to end up placing, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, like, Mara was a beast, and she still went out top 14. Like,
yeah.
Raw talent can only get you so far. I mean, there's got to be something to draw you in, some emotional connection to the song or just her performance. It reminds me, one of my favorite contestants of all time was Holly Kavanaugh, and there was a stretch.
Holly had such a blank expression on her face.
No, what I'm kind of saying was between like top 10 and top 7 week, it was what Michaela is. It's just very. I love Holly. She's one of my all-time favorite contestants. But there was that couple of week gap where that was just it's just there something is not connecting. There's some things that are just off, and it's just stopping it from going to that level, which is a shame because she's a really great vocalist. Like if you were to take her voice and put it on like another someone who has the full like emotional connection, I think you're off to the races with the perfect contestant.
Yep.
Anyway, the last contestant in this montage, Lauren Spencer Smith. She looks like a young Kelly Clarkson right here.
Do you think this was good?
I thought pretty damn good, honestly. One of the best ones of this round.
Well, finally, you're starting to see what I'm saying. Yeah, she's my favorite. She's my favorite contestant. I think her voice sounded a little bit hoarse here, but I didn't care. I thought this was the best performance of the episode. It gave me a hint of Louisa from Judges' Houses on X Factor, and that's one of the best compliments I could give a contestant. And she has had connections with songs. She has an amazing voice, and I just think she needs to have this one moment where she truly kills it, and she'll be a front runner. But she needs to make it to the top 10, and then she can go far.
Eric, did these 3 contestants earn their right to the top 20?
I say all of them did, but I think the one who did the most was Lauren.
Yeah, I think they all did. Like even Michaela, who I'm not the biggest fan of. The ship is kind of sinking, but I'll let her. I would let her go through a little bit further before it kind of. For me, like the making of a good top 20, I'm gonna just rant for a second. Is you need like 3 returning contestants and 1 America's Got Talent contestant. You need the magic and 1 The Voice contestant. That's what it is.
No.
5. You need 3 returners, 1 America's Got Talent, and 1 The Voice. Think about season like the last season of American Idol. They usually have that. Like there needs at least 5 names that are familiar. Eric.
Disagree. Anyway,
what would you say?
You don't need any names that are familiar. If you have 1 or 2, that's fine, but you don't need any.
I think you do. The only one we have is Nick. That's all the only one.
We have Michaela.
Yeah, but
Michaela's got a lot more screen time on her show than Nick got in his.
I think I might like hardcore root for Nick at this point.
And on that note, let's move on to.
I didn't say this was an unbiased podcast. Olivia Jimenez performing Proud Mary by Tina Turner. Yeah, she went hardcore with the dancing, but what did you make of this, Eric?
I think I made the same thing out of you. It's a cut and paste performance that showed no originality. Plenty of talent, but I've seen this too many times before to be impressed.
Solid vocal, solid stage presence. I just have no investment in it. It's just I've seen this. I've seen the young contestant who's gonna just
singing this song, doing it the exact same way. It's every time.
Yeah. There's nothing here, which is funny because the judges just lose their shit over it because they don't remember kind of the people from last season.
Never did we.
I imagine that after every season, like the judges, they go into the lab and they get reprogrammed, but they like forget their previous season. Like everything that happened the previous season, they just don't remember. They come out, they look up in the sky, like, oh, there's a sun.
They remember this season. They remember last season, but they remember it wrong. They remember Alejandro winning.
and Lane Hardy getting thrown under a bus like Cartman.
Mm-hmm.
Did Olivia earn her spot to the top 20?
Maybe. I mean, judging on this performance, I'd say based on talent, yes. Based on any potential as an artist, I'd say no.
Yeah, I would cut her here, honestly. I would give her spot to Shannon.
Okay.
Who would you rather watch? Shannon or Olivia? That's what I would say.
I don't know. It's up in the air. It's neck and neck.
All right. Well, we have Arthur Gunn up next doing "Is This Love" by Bob Farley. One for the Rastafari. What did you make of this one?
He's our winner, unfortunately.
He's definitely our winner.
Mm-hmm. So we can both agree who our first draft pick is going to be if we get it.
Which is such a shame because I'm not that invested in in like watching it. It's
the sad thing is, if this was last season, I'd say he'd be a fine winner compared to like who we had. Well, except for Jeremiah and Madison. I mean, Jeremiah is way better than Arthur. But anyway, Arthur's gonna win. He's not bad. My issue is that there are so many contestants here who are way better than him.
Yeah, I'm just not invested. It's like every season there's you have the talent, and then this one dude kicks the door open and it's Philip Phillips, and it's like, hi suckers, and he walks past the entire line, and he gets a fast pass to like the top 10, and I'm like, ugh. But it's nothing against him because he's solid. It's just I don't even know.
I would much rather see Lauren win.
Exactly. Like, give us like one season where we could get one of. Well, we did. We got Maddie, who's.
You got Maddie.
I got Maddie.
I haven't gotten that season yet. I haven't been happy with our results since season 14. Season 15, in retrospect, I was happy with, but at the time, I wasn't.
That season was awful.
For like 2 days of season 15, I was unhappy.
Last season was such a mess. I drink to forget it, but I always remember.
Okay.
Did Arthur earn his spot, though, would you say?
I mean, yes, but if I was thinking for what I'd like, what I know is going to happen long term, I would have cut him when I was the judges if I had a chance, because I don't want him to win, but we'll see.
Demi Ray, Lonely by Demi Lovato. Another Demi Lovato. Was that like 4 or 3? How many? I don't know.
It's the Demi Lovato Power Hour.
Lonely by Demi Lovato. What'd you make of this one?
Yeah.
Next up, we have Grace Lear and Lauren Machete. So we get the whole shtick. Such a damn shame. These two girls both deserve to be in the top 20 over quite a few of these contestants. Just such a shame. Grace doing Natural Woman by Aretha Franklin. I mean, all right, this is a really embarrassing thing. So I've heard this song so many times. When I was younger, I used to think the line was, there's a lyric that goes, "You're the key to my peace of mind." I used to think the lyric was, "You're the key to my piece of pie." Because it does sound like when some singers sounded like it sounds like it.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to stop this right now. Have you seen Kelly Clarkson sing this song on Americana?
Yeah. When she did the whistle, which sounded like a dolphin.
It didn't sound like a dolphin.
It did a little bit. Dolphin whistle.
Fine.
What about it?
Whatever. No, that was the best performance of that season on Americana. So
you could stick that in. You could have a clip of the, or if you can't use the.
I am the editor. I will not crap on the name of Kelly Clarkson like that by comparing it to a real dolphin.
Eric holds the key to the editing box. Like what he says, he could just like make my head a dolphin if he wanted to. But what did you think of her performance, though? Oh God, he's totally doing that. It's gonna be a card, and it's gonna be my face, like pause, and like an awkward moment. It's gonna be a dolphin.
Yeah! You're damn right there is. Let's see. What I think of Grace, I liked it. It wasn't mind-boggling, and the big net was strong. But again, if I had to pick one, I'd put her through over Lauren Machete. But yeah, I liked it.
I thought it was solid. I think she deserved her spot. The thing is, I feel like there's two kinds of country contestants. There's kind of the traditional country contestant, and then we have like the Skylar Lane contestant.
Yeah.
You know, where there's the straight country where
versatility.
Where you're just going to sing straight country the entire season, and in which case I don't enjoy those contestants. But then there's like Skylar Lane, like those contestants who are going to do those different things and kind of try different things and have that different kind of energy. I think Grace is kind of in the former, like she's going to just it's just going to be country all the way through. But
this wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, not this song, but I think what I'm saying is she would be more of a traditional country singer than like a Skylar contestant. And I don't know if I would get that excited about her. That's the thing.
I wouldn't get excited about either of these two.
Grace is a better singer, but Lauren is more interesting, if that makes sense.
Really? I thought the opposite from this round.
You thought Lauren's a better singer, Grace is more interesting.
No, I thought Grace was a better singer and more interesting. Sorry.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit more to get. I feel like Lauren, there's some layers. Like I've seen Grace's run. Like I feel like I know where this is gonna go. Lauren has some more potential to kind of. No.
Not really.
All right. Well, let's talk about Lauren officially. So she's doing 2 more bottles of wine. Yeah, this one was a little bit bland. I will say a little dull, not the best. But
it reminded me a lot of Lacey's performances.
All right, this was a very fun podcast.
I mean, it did, is the thing.
Why do you keep crapping on Lacey? What did this poor girl do to you? She just wanted to sing for you, Eric, and you make fun of her.
I'm making fun of you more because if Lacey did this exact same performance, exact same way, you would have loved it.
I didn't even realize it, but she really is like Lacey.
I'm making fun of you, not Lacey. I'm just saying that you, if we changed Lauren's name and changed her face and put this performance in Lacey K's Booth's body, it would have been a totally different reaction for you.
All right, so we have talked about who we would put through, and I want to ask you, Eric, now, who do you think is actually going to get the votes to move through? And before you answer, I'm going to say the correct answer, which is neither of them, because the show is going to be so pushed off that like someone's going to drop out and they're going to have to fill her role.
Nope, disagree. What's going to happen is I think the vote's already closed. I think this morning, so they already made it through. I think it's Grace, but we'll see.
Yeah, someone actually pointed out. Do you think we might get some contestants dropping out? Honestly,
highly doubt that. Why would anyone drop out?
I like to cling on to hope, Eric.
You hope that some of them drop out?
No, but like I just hope that somehow we can end up in an alternate timeline where some of the better people made it.
Oh, so you say that if someone drops out, Genevieve could take her place. Exactly, you're hoping to drop out. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I say that in joking. Like in all seriousness, people who say that kind of they made their spot. Let them have their moment. They're all gonna get sent home eventually, except for one winner. So don't wish people dropping out. I was kind of...
They've already all been sent home, and they're be stuck at home for a while, like we are. So.
Yep. Well, I guess that is our episode. Overall, kind of a mixed bag, but I said it feels very overproduced and just it's like a cake with a random lemon. Like with the rind, it's not even washed. There's probably like some dirt on it or something. Like just... Any final thoughts on the episode, Eric?
Nope.
All right, well then. What just happened?
I don't know.
Hold on. Hold for edits. There we go. I want to say I'm Adam Samuel. You can find me on Twitter at AdamSoapbox. Run the 2 websites, AdamSoapbox.com and AdamCVblog.com. Eric, where can we find you?
Eric Ascher on Twitter, ericascher.com, bit.ly/EricLavitz.
Another episode. So, this is it. Next time we'll be back is going to be for a draft. We are going to be drafting the top 21 contestants. I feel like the Grace and Lauren are probably going to be the last 2 picked, just in case, like either or, because, you know.
I mean, yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Eric, is there anyone you have your eye on?
There's several I have my eye on.
All right, well.
I'm not going to get any of them. you want to do a coin flip now, or do you want to do it next
Nah,
episode?
save that for the actual episode. But moving forward for Reality Hour, like I said, we are going to be doing our draft next week. By then, hopefully, we will have some semblance of what's going to happen with the season. If the season is going to keep going, we will continue doing our coverage. If it is postponed, we will find ways to fill the time. We will do the most robbed
Britain's Got Talent.
contestant. America's Got Talent doesn't air yet.
I said Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, that's going to be a hard sell from here.
You're gonna deal with it. We're gonna do it.
All right,
I
guys.
watched The Masked Singer for you. We're gonna do Britain's Got
We
Talent.
only watched like 3 episodes of that show. Like we gave up pretty quickly.
Fine.
All right. Well, if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. I feel like I should say that at the beginning of the episodes, honestly. Usually, like in all those hardcore YouTubers, they say it like in their first like two seconds. But yeah, check us out on Twitter. Until next time, peace.